In this lecture, we want to add a couple of custom validations to this form. First, we want to make sure that price is a positive number and this image URL is an actual URL. Now, as I told you before, at the time of recording this video, Angular doesn't have built-in validators for these scenarios. So I'm going to use a third-party library called ng2-validation. So on Google, search for ng2-validation. You can find this GitHub page. This is built by this developer, Yu Yang. This is a great library. I really like it. Now here you can see the instructions. We can simply install it using npm. And then we need to import it in app module. So we need to import this custom forms module from ng2-validation and add it to our imports array. Then you can see various examples. For example, if you want to do range length validation or min validation or greater than and equal to, there are lots of different validators here. All you do is simply apply some attribute to your input fields. Great, great, great library. So back in the terminal, let's install ng2-validation and save it in our package.json. All right, now let's go to app.module and import custom forms module. So custom forms module from ng2-validation. Now we need to add this to our import array. So forms module is here. Right after that, I add custom forms module. Now we go back to our template. So here's our price input field. I'm going to apply the main attribute here using property binding syntax and set it to 0. Then I'm going to extend this div so we can have multiple validation errors. So I'm going to wrap this error message inside a div like this. And I want to render this div only if the field has the required validation error. So ng-if price.errors.required. Now I'm going to duplicate this. And for the second, I'm going to change this to min. So if we have the min error, then our error message should be price should be 0 or higher. Now let's test the application. So I'll put the focus here. Tab, we get the first error, price is required. I put in -1, the error changes to price should be 0 or higher. I set it to 0 and the error is gone. Beautiful. Now I'm going to apply a custom validator to this image URL field. So back in our template, down the bottom, here's our image URL field. I'm going to apply the URL attribute here. And this is our custom validator that comes with our ng2-validation library. And similarly, we're going to modify our error message div. So I add another div here. I want to render this only if the field has the required error. So image URL.errors.required. Put the error message here. And then I'm going to duplicate this. Change the second error to URL. And I'm going to change the message to please enter a valid URL. Now back in the browser, I put the focus here, tab, we get the first error, image URL is required. I type in ASD, it tells me this is not a valid URL. I'm going to paste the address of an image and the error is gone. Beautiful. So our form is getting better. In the next lecture, we are going to add a preview card on the right side of this form. So as the user is modifying these values, they can see a preview of this product.